we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Hi, my name is Thomas Johnson, and I'm the founder and CEO of GetUpNGetFit, Wellness and Fitness Coaching Concierge. And I'm also a C-suite advisor and investor. And you're listening to How May I Serve You, where I'm constantly on the quest to surround myself with the best coaches while learning how to better serve our executive clientele. By accident, how may I serve them? So today's guest is Rory. Rory, what's going on?
Man, everything is great, Thomas. How you doing?
I'm good, man. You know, it's another blessed day. So, no complaints, no complaints. So, Rory has over 20 years experience in the entertainment investment industry, empowering entrepreneurs to pursue their purpose. He transitioned from entertainment to the financial service industry as a financial educator and high performance life coach, where he leads and mentors countless amount of people, including CEOs, CPAs, attorneys, and several six figures earners who run their own organization. So Rory, wow, that's a resume, man. Quite a resume.
Well, I tell you, man, I'm 57 years old, young, and I have a resume, but I really love what I do, man. What I do, I would do it for free.
Nice. Okay. I mean, I love when people say that, because that kind of shows a level of pride, right? And the level of commitment to what they're doing, the craft. So with that being said, give me like the 2-minute version about yourself. Tell me more about yourself.
Well, just to start off, I was really most likely not to succeed, Thomas, when I was in school, because I got kicked out of every elementary school and every high school. I was labeled a troubled youth. I said labeled.
Wow.
And I was labeled a troubled youth because I suffered from something that was called dyslexia. I read things backwards. So even though I was an A student, whenever there was an open book or test, I disrupted the class to get kicked out. So that's why I was labeled a troubled youth.
Okay.
But it wasn't until my mother, at a young age, we were driving down the road in the car, and she told me to read some instructions. And then I tried to actually avoid reading instructions. And then, our moms are, she insisted, well, you gotta do those instructions. So I started to read the instructions, and I was reading them backwards. So she knew I had an issue.
Okay.
My mom was my mentor because my father passed at a young age, and my mom worked 3 jobs to take care of myself and my brother and my sister. And when she knew there was a problem, she actually went back to the school and talked to the counselors and the teachers and the principal. And I received help for my disability. So I always tell people today that you can have a disability, but you don't have to be disabled. So I overcame my disability, went back to school, got straight A's, and pretty much just advanced. And opted not to go to college because, to me, college was very boring. I went to a couple of semesters. And I've always been a starch entrepreneur. So as an entrepreneur, I really, really love what I do. I help countless amount of people. But like I said in the beginning, it was a bumpy road. And I also started off in the entertainment industry. And also, too, that's another story as we go along. I can tell you about that also, too.
Okay. So, wow. It's what I'm hearing right here. You there was a problem. You looked for the solution, and your mother was your superhero to help champion you forward, which is amazing, right? But oftentimes we don't ask for help, or we might not have that support system to help push us forward. So you had that support system at an early age, which is amazing. So with that being said, so Rory, tell us about your coaching, because I know you're a coach, right? Why did you get into coaching, and who do you coach?
Well, my coaching actually is pretty much used from my disability. I use my disability as my superpower.
Okay.
And basically, I start off in the entertainment industry. And I worked in the entertainment industry as an intern. I started off as an intern. And when I was working as an intern, I was really, really good at what I did. They called me the go-to man because everything they asked me, I did it. Serve coffee, whatever it may be, I did it. And I went from basically serving coffee and helping people in the entertainment industry to actually being a part of a couple of world tours. And the person that I was bringing coffee to was a very notable name. If I said the name, you go, whoa, you brought coffee to this person? Yes, but I was bringing coffee and things of that sort.
Yeah.
And basically got on a music tour, and pretty much worked on that tour. When I got off of that tour, throughout my service helping so many people, one of the artists decided to take me on as on their management team. And I went from that to an entertainment manager, and from an entertainment manager to starting my own management firm. One of my first acts that I worked with was Bobby Brown.
Oh, wow.
And we had a platinum album project, and I went around the world a couple of times, and then had other artists also too that I worked with, like Dave Hollister, Music Soul Child, a lot of R&B artists. Yeah. And then I actually started my management company, and then I went from my management company to my actual film also too, financing film. And when I got involved with the financing film and soundtracks, I made an enormous amount of money. And I had a partner of mine who was my entertainment attorney. Okay. His name was Joseph Gelman. He's no longer here, who taught me all of the rules and engagements about entertainment. But I made a lot of money, Thomas. But at the end of the year, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're good.
Yeah. I made a lot of money, but at the end of the year, I end up losing money.
Wow. How did that happen?
I didn't know too much about finance.
Oh, okay.
And that's what actually got me started in terms of bouncing into the financial industry. Because I made several $1 million, but at the end of the year, I owed a lot. And then everybody else was getting paid and not me. And I said to myself, just like with my disability, I said, I will never put myself in a position like this again. So I began to pick up things and read everything that I can read about finance, checked in school, took some financial classes, and I found out throughout that transition that finance really was my passion.
Okay.
And I transitioned from entertainment to finance. And then I started to work for some financial firms. And every time I worked for financial firms, I started from the bottom and I would escalate to the top. So finance is really my forte as a financial educator. And through the disability life lessons, I decided to be a life coach.
Okay.
So me as being a life coach, I come with a whole total different approach. I talk to people not only about finance, I also talk to them about life skills, and I incorporate that also too with spirituality, because I am also too an ordained minister. So that's what I do.
Wow. So you basically coming from all parts: spiritual, financial, motivational, spiritual. Like you covering all facets.
All parts, because in most cases, people tend to just deal with one thing.
Yeah, of course.
And we need more than just one thing. So that's what I do as a financial coach and a mentor. I counsel so many different people. And I also counsel some people that have some popular names. And I really, really love what I do. But like I said, my main thing is financial education, because even when I was in the industry, keep in mind, my Achilles heel is that I suffered because I didn't know anything about finance.
Yes.
And definitely. Right now in America, the average American, Thomas, is 1 to 2 paychecks away from being homeless.
Wow.
And 1 in 3 Americans carry credit card debt. Yet we're in one of the richest countries in the world. Why is that? We don't have a money problem. We have a literacy problem. So my main objective is financial literacy. It's financial literacy, because I'm telling you that you can have a career that's for a lunchtime. But when you have financial stability, it's for a lifetime.
Oh, that's the foundation right there. That's the root.
There it is.
The root. And you're so right, because I've heard so many stories with entertainers where they make all this money and by the end of the year because they don't have the financial literacy. Even athletes, right? I work with a couple of professional athletes as well, and they end up going bankrupt, and Uncle Sam end up knocking on their door because of lack of financial education. So you're really providing an amazing service, amazing service. You're providing tons of value through financial literacy, and I would like to commend you for that, first of all.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that. If I can interject, I will say this to you, especially for your listeners. I want everybody to know that we have greatness inside of us, and we have wealth inside of us. And we tend to give our wealth away to other people because it's really, really never been identified. So I always tell people there's a big difference between wealth and riches. You see, you could basically live in a 1-bedroom apartment. You could be living in your car. But if you know who you are and whose you are, you're wealthy.
Mm.
But the bottom line is that most of us are spending more time looking at other people's wealth, looking outside of us, and less time with ourselves. And that's exactly what the wealth is. It's inside of ourselves. So the average person spends more time looking outside of themselves and less time with themselves. That's the reason why we never run into our wealth.
So, Rory, with that being said, would you say self-awareness is the key to wealth?
Self-awareness, but before self-awareness, knowing who you are and knowing what you possess. Each and every one of us have a gift inside of us. And I always tell people, when you discover your passion, you discover your purpose. But if you always are looking outside at someone else's accomplishment, or you always are trying to duplicate someone else, you wasn't called here to be a spectator. I always tell people, what you get paid for is what you work for, but your calling is what you were made for.
Your calling is what you were made for. Ooh, you're dropping gems right now. I'm getting goosebumps. You're preaching to the choir right now. You're preaching. I'm loving it. Thanks for dropping those gems, man. So Rory, I know there's so many different types of coaching styles, right? And I've worked with so many different coaches, and I've interviewed so many different coaches. So, what is your coaching style? I know you have a bit of a preacher style, as I'm feeling right now. I'm getting that vibe right now. But I want you to tell me in your own words, what's your coaching style, and also what differentiates you from everyone else as a coach?
My coaching style, and man, you asking some great questions, man. You got me against the wall. My coaching style is basically going right to the source.
Okay.
What's bothering you? What's stopping you from being the best version of yourself? That's my coaching style. Unorthodox. I'm going right at you. What's bothering you? What are you trying to fulfill, and why you're not there?
Okay. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate right now. If I were your client, right, a new client, and I'm still not sure when it comes to understanding what stopped me from getting to that level of success. How will you break it down for me to be able to decipher, and understand what stopped me?
Well, it's a great question. I can't build you if I don't know you. So it's important that when I do take you on as a client, that I have to really, really have a conversation with you so I can get to know you first. If I can't get to know you, I can't build you. And that is all based on you, how honest you are with me. So if you tell me what the things that you've been through, what you're going through, and then I can pretty much make an assessment of what you actually need, because everyone don't really know what they need. But the bottom line is, I'm the type of coach, I go right to it. Find out exactly what's stopping you, what's bothering you. Those type of things are essential to me, because I know for a fact that everyone has greatness inside of them.
Amen.
But I will reiterate once again, most of us spend so much time searching outside of ourselves and very little time with ourselves. So as a coach, I take you back to you, because there's something most people don't realize. There's something that's called an ATOM. Y'all know if you ever heard of an ATOM, but an ATOM is an experience. Okay, an ATOM is an experience. I'll give you an example. Let's say if you were at a party and they were serving hors d'oeuvres, and you had one of those hors d'oeuvres, and you ate that hors d'oeuvre and you got really, really sick. You can go to a party 5 years later, 10 years later, someone's passing hors d'oeuvre, and that experience comes right back to you. That's okay.
Yeah.
So, we all are sum total of our experiences in life. Where we are right now, you're a sum total of your experiences in life. So we have good experiences and bad experiences, and we tend to try to forget about the bad experiences. So as a coach, I can't build you if I don't know you. So it's all about getting a chance to really know you. And once I know you, I know exactly how to build you and work with you.
Okay. All right. So you're breaking them down and you get into the details, the good and the bad. I like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's extremely important, especially if you want to get to the person's root cause. So yeah, I like that approach. So Rory, if someone was looking for a coach, what traits would you advise for them to look for?
If they were looking for a coach,
just in general.
I would say, man, you asked some great questions. If you're looking for a coach, two things that's important. At least have a little knowledge of what you're looking for.
Okay.
Have a little knowledge of what you're looking for. So if I'm looking for something, then I should really know to some extent what I'm looking for. So I think that if you don't know what you're looking for, just get a coach. Because if you don't know what you're looking for, just get a coach. But if you know what you're looking for, now you got something to reference. And that's what it's all about. Most people just go get a coach. They don't really know what they're looking for. So first find out what you're looking for and then go look for that coach.
Okay. So that makes it much more easier. It's just like people say, the faster way to get from point A to B is a straight line.
You just did it. See, that's why I say I get right to it. Everything, my approach is straight line.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's straight line. And people, I'll tell you this also too. People know what they want. Let me tell you the reason why. I talked to several people. I asked them, I said, hey, Thomas, if you could right now, what would you be doing in life? Oh, man, I would have my own business. I would be traveling the world. You already told me what you would want to do. But the question is, do you believe that you can do it?
The belief.
And that's where a coach come in.
Oh, I like that. Okay. So, Rory, give me a 2-minute success story. All right. Right now, I would like to live vicariously through you. So I know you have a plethora of experience, but give me a 2-minute success story where you're working with a client and you took them from a crazy situation to a position where they are happy, successful, and in a good place.
Well, the 2-minute success story would start with me because I told you in the first phase, I was most likely not to succeed in school.
True.
And when I was most likely not succeeding in school, I hung around a lot of those individuals who roamed the hallways, those people who were disenfranchised, people who were involved with crime and things in the street. And I always tell people that I went from the streets to corporate suites.
Oh, I like that one.
So, 2-minute success story. I was working with a guy who had just got released from prison, who was pretty much convicted for something that he didn't do. And he was in prison for 4 years, and he was released because they found out what he was convicted for he didn't do.
Okay.
And his whole concern was, hey, I got a record, but he had some great ideas. And I told him that his record didn't define him. And I told him that that your calling can't be stopped no matter what. And your record don't define you. And I basically got in touch with a friend of mine who is actually an attorney. And a friend of mine told me what he could do in regards to his record because he was convicted for something he didn't do. So actually had a friend of mine work with him who was an attorney, got his record expunged.
Nice.
Yes, so that was off of his record. And he actually went on to start his own business. And right now he has his business, which is basically he has a medical business where he actually supplies medical supplies. And right now he's basically a millionaire. And he runs a very, very successful business.
Wow.
But he's running that business not because of the money. I always tell people your greatest asset is your mindset.
Correct.
That's your greatest asset. If you can change someone's mind, you can change their reality.
Definitely.
So that's what it's really all about. It's really not about money because as you referenced earlier, most sports players go broke within 5 years. But we see these sports players that have a lot of money. Why is it that they're in the media all the time? Why is it they just can't get it together? Money is not going to make you happy.
Yeah.
That's why I told you earlier that what you get paid for is what you're paid for, but your calling is what you're made for. So what it's really all about is tapping people into their calling. That's what you're made for.
Yeah, Rory, you're absolutely right. Earl Nightingale mentions the greatest secret is your attitude, right? Your mindset. Um, he created an audio many years ago, and I play that at least once a week. At least once a week, you know. So you are absolutely on point when you what you just shared with us. So Rory, are you currently working on any new projects? And if you are, would you mind sharing with us?
Well, the project that I have out right now, it's currently an international bestseller.
Okay.
It's called Cracking the Rich Code. It's a collaboration between Kevin Harrington from ABC's The Shark Tank,
Mm-hmm.
Tony Robbins, everybody knows who he is, and myself. And the book is currently an international bestseller. And Cracking the Rich Code is actually an entrepreneur's blueprint, which means if you're an entrepreneur, you need to read that book, because that book is going to give you stories of entrepreneurs, just like we're talking right now. Common folks who had a dream, who had a vision, showing them actually how to put it together. So that's what it's all about, cracking the rich code. So since I am a financial specialist, everything that I do pretty much goes back down to financial literacy. So I show people in Cracking the Rich Code that there is a language for the rich and the wealthy, and there's a language for the average American. So Cracking the Rich Code, we actually give that language out. We give those tools out to entrepreneurs to show them how to be successful.
Giving them the secrets, the juice. Okay.
Yes.
That's great right there. Where can we find this book? Is it on Amazon? Is it everywhere where books are sold? Talk to me.
The book is everywhere, all around the world, but you can actually go to RoryDouglas.net, RoryDouglas.net, and you can get all of my handles, Facebook, Instagram. But you put Cracking the Rich Code, it's everywhere.
Okay. So RoryDouglas.net, is this where we could find you as well if somebody was looking to inquire about your services?
Yeah, RoryDouglas.net, or they can actually go to AquaFinancialCenter.com. Aqua, like water, AquaFinancialCenter.com. And you can go to my firm. And right now, Thomas, during times of pandemic, I'm having what you call free financial literacy workshops that I conduct throughout the week. So you can go to AquaFinancialCenter.com and register so you can actually take part in those free financial literacy workshops.
That's amazing, Rory. I really appreciate that resource, and I'm pretty sure my listeners will tap in as well. So, Rory, thank you. I really appreciate everything you've shared. And last but not least, how may I serve you?
Well, I'll tell you this: you're serving me already, because iron sharpens iron. And the way you can actually serve me is basically getting this message that we're talking about right now, getting it to as many people as possible. Because right now, during pandemic, when half of America's out of work, people have lost their hope, motivation. And I really want to let people know that that each and every one of those individuals who are listening to us right now, you have greatness inside of you. And once you tap into that greatness, nothing can stop you. So take the message and let's get it to as many people as possible, because I want to make sure that people have a money for a lifetime and not a lunchtime.
There you go. And I'm loving that. I'm loving that energy. Once again, Rory, thank you for coming, and thank everyone so much for listening to today's episode. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to share it with someone that will benefit from listening. And Rory, thanks again. Have a great one, and let's keep in contact, man. I'm loving your energy. You are a preacher.
Thomas, we got to stay in contact, man, because I'm telling you, if we don't, it's a disservice. That's what it's all about. I love your energy also, too. And I'll tell you this also, too, man. I don't know how old you are, but I can tell you're a young man. But the best is yet to be done, man. Sky is the limit. I see you doing some amazing and big things based off your attitude. Because I always tell people that attitude will lead to their altitude. That's what it's about.
Listen, after this podcast interview, I'm going to take some notes and I'm going to repeat some of those quotes.
Hey, let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm telling you.
Great stuff, bro. Thanks again, man. All right, let's keep in contact. Stay blessed.
Definitely.